It is a pity that most of us don't understand our history. And that is why sometimes we toy with certain things in this country. More often than not, with the hear say Igbos, they call Yorubas betrayer. And a lot of people have not even asked themselves this question. Why is it that Igbos are fond of calling Yoruba betrayers? Even those Igbos that know Yoruba has betrayed them in their life, but each time something happen where they related to Yoruba man, they go jump very fast to say, Yorubas are betrayers. But do they have justification? Most of us the year say Igbo dey para every time, say Yoruba na betrayer, Yoruba na betrayer. But a lot of Yorubas never ask themselves this question. Why is it that Igbos are quick to call Yoruba betrayers? See, if we don't know history, we don't stand in the best position to say anything. So history speaks volume about human life. I go break this thing today for now. Make una understand why Igbos perpetually love to call Yoruba betrayer. And after this particular story we go tell now with reference to Nigerian history, then we go ask ourselves, is it what Igbos calling Yoruba betrayers or not? Make una sit down well. But before I move further, I want to appeal to now. Those of you who have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, it costs you guys nothing to do that. When you subscribe, it is very important for you to click the like button. In clicking the like button, it will make a lot of people have access to this video so that people will know what Nigerians stand for or what the Igbo stand for or what Yoruba stands for. And not that alone. Click on the notification bell so you have access to my video whenever I get a new video. What we go on with the story. After the independence, along the line, Awolowo fell out with the government in power. At the end of the day, they can't arrest him, they can't send to prison for treason. In 1966, after the coup, Gowon came to power. And when Gowon came to power in 1966, he released Awolowo from prison. When they released Awolowo from prison then, by 1967, he now brought Awolowo back into government and he could make Awolowo the Commissioner of Finance and the Chairman Federal Executive Council. During that process, the civil war don't start gradually. When the civil war starts, the government now can make Awolowo technically, he can be the advisor at that particular point in time and the policy maker of the government. So whatever economic policy that was taken during the war, it was the brainchild of Awolowo. In the civil war, the Nigerian government understands see, the way that they go so, no matter how they get weapon reach you, they no fit win the people from the eastern part of the country. Now, what can they do? It was Awolowo that came with the satanic idea, introduced it to the government, that the only way with which they can win this war is to go for economic blockade. What that what simply means? It simply means see, access to food and medical supply, make it not go to the eastern part of the country. That if that happens, the eastern region has no option, or the people has no option rather than to surrender to Nigerian government. Now, the government of Gowon now imposed land, air, and sea blockade. He warned the government and even international community not to come into the eastern region, not to give them medical supply, not to give them food. No form of aid actually came into the eastern region in this country during the civil war. And record has it that not less than 2 million Igbos were unalive during this period, based on the fact that the children who were sick at that time, no medical supply to take care of them. The elderly who are sick among them, no medical supply to take care of them, no food. A lot of people were unalive as a result of them not having food to eat. This is just the idea of a man because of his inordinate quest to become the leader of Nigeria. Now, look at it from this point. If Awolowo had not advised them to go for economic blockade, most people who were unalive at that time might still even be alive now and even would have done greater things for this country. Not only that, the international observer declared at that time that the action of Nigerian government as a result of the advice of Awolowo caused what they call humanitarian catastrophe. When they say catastrophe, that means it goes beyond human comprehension. It's so much. When people began to say that this action and advice of Awolowo did very bad and it's not good, Awolowo was justifying his action at that particular point in time. I will read the statement we use. He said, all is fear in war, and starvation is one of the weapons of war. How will a man be so satanic to say that all is fear in war, even starvation is a weapon in war. Come on. But we think as human beings, how will you starve people of food, of water, of medicine? This is the genesis where Igbo started calling Yoruba betrayal. They said because Awolowo single-handedly brought the idea and supervised the unaliving of millions of Igbo, that there is nothing anybody can tell any Igbo man in life. Even if you were to be a Yoruba man and somebody behave like this to your own people, will you say that person is a good person or the region in which that person comes from is a good region? No, that was the actual point where Igbos started calling Yoruba betrayers. Apart from that, a lot of betrayers had actually arose after that. Why? Because a man from the West supervised the unaliving of 2 million Igbos. How do you expect them to be happy? Where a father watch his son in his own very hand goes because there's no water or food to eat, or there's no medicine to give the child. Where husband see the wife, they go like that because there is no food for the wife to eat. Where wife watch husband go like that because there is no food or medicine to give the husband. Because of the idea of a single man, because of his quest to become the leader of this country. But you see, there's a way God acts and there's a way God behaves. If you think you are smarter than God, he will let you know, say, now, in create, you know, you create them. When Awolowo thought that he was going to be the president of this country, the leader of this country, he was also betrayed. That is what you get from people who betray somebody. When you betray people, last, you are also going to be betrayed. So when you see Igbo saying that Yoruba are betrayers, please, is enough. They have moral justification to say that Yorubas are betrayers because a lot of things have transpired even after that that have shown that Yorubas betrayed Igbo to a greater extent. Even during the Civil War, some Yorubas seized the properties of some Igbo. Even till they did not give them back their properties. So we must not just be quick to say Igbos are criticizing Yoruba. Do they have moral justification? Yes, they actually have moral justification. Yes, they have moral justification. But the truth, let me say, should we continue to live that way? No. But what is happening currently in Lagos now is making them to remember that, look here, what your grandfather did to us those years, you guys are repeating it again, and we are not going to take this. Guys, it is not enough for you to just judge people quickly. Try to find out the rationale and the reason behind every decision which people they take. My analysis might not be 100% correct to some of you, but the truth is like, let us take time to go back to our history and understand what has happened in the past, and that will give us an encompassing idea on how best to live together in harmony in this country. The Nigerian state as it stands has never apologized to the eastern region. Until when Nigeria and its people apologize to the eastern part of Nigeria, Nigeria may never know peace, Nigeria may never know progress. Until when this I come on board, guys, please do not forget to subscribe, to like, and to share. I remain the Eagle's Eyes.